Good morning. So, I've been really thinking a lot about this last week because I don't know, I feel really impressed that um especially we as mothers tend to forget this fact. I've had a few friends tell me over the last little while that I'm such a great mom just because I'm trying to help my child work through his ADHD and ODD. That's stuff that I feel like every mom would do for their child because it's something that would help their child. And so for me, that's hard to hear because I'm like, oh, that's such a low standard. And at the same time, it's so nice to hear because it's like, oh, someone realizes that I'm doing something for my child. And so I just want to say that you're doing a great job. No matter what's going on in your life, if you're a single mom, doing it all on your own, if you're a military mom, not a military mom, but you know what I'm saying? Like if your husband's in the military and your children are at home with you all the time and you are just trying to make it through another day, you are doing an amazing job. If you are a truck driver's mom or wife where you're home alone with the kids all the time because your husband's gone driving, you're doing an amazing job. Um, if your husband is traveling for work all the time, you're doing an amazing job, mom. If you are the husband that's staying home, you're doing an amazing job. You are a Mr. Mom at that point, and at that point, you're doing an amazing job. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not just because you're not meeting a quota of what they expect. Um, this is something that I feel that people tend to undervalue a lot of times because we feel that we have to do certain things, right, as a parent, where all I really have to do is make sure my children are fed, clothed, and sheltered, right? Those are their basic needs. I, after that, want to make sure that my children have the best life possible. And so for me, the way that I can be the best mom is to help my children through their issues. It's to help them learn and grow and to help them to find a way to find comfort in the hard times. And the other thing I can do is I can make sure that they have fun because that's something that I feel like is so undervalued right now in children. That is a huge reason why I started homeschooling because I wanted to make sure my children were having fun. I didn't want them to be going to school all day long and then having to come home and do more schoolwork. That was just so exhausting to me to have them just so overwhelmed with school all the time. And so for me, it was so nice to be able to take a step back and be like, okay, we can do a few hours of school, and then after that, we can go play. We can go on a field trip when we want. We can go to the zoo. We can go to Wonderworks, which is this really cool museum that has over 100 science experiments. How cool is that? My children love these things, and it helps them learn to be creative and imaginative, and I thrive on having my children use their imagination. My oldest daughter, wants to learn how to bake, and that to me is amazing because that's something I'm not extremely good at, but I'm willing to learn so that she can do better, so that she can improve. And she also wants to learn how to sew. She wants to learn how to sew. And so for me, I am not a sewer, but I will learn how to sew if that means that I get to teach her how to sew because that's something she wants to do. And I want to cultivate that love and that drive and that want to do something because when they're young, that's the time to help them. Not when they're older. When they're older, you've done all you could and it's just what you've done and you go from there. But at least this is my opinion on the matter. I have 5 kids and they're all young. And I came from a family of 5 kids. And I can tell you, it's nice having my parents around, but it's not at the same time because they still treat me like a child sometimes. And it could be just my parents, but it's harder to learn when you're an adult. And it's harder to learn and to be willing to learn when you're an adult. And as an adult, I feel like a lot of times I've already learned what I need to learn. Whereas as a child, you're still so willing to learn. And you're still so willing to do more and to be more and to try harder and to be better. You know, there's a reason why God asks us to be like little children. And so I say personally, take this time, right now, while they're little, and show them you love them. Be the awesome mom that you are. Be the awesome Mr. Mom that you are. And just do everything you can. And even if you're not home all the time, even if you're not doing the exact same things I'm doing, just tell them you love them. Show them you love them. It's the little things. You don't have to buy things. You don't need to get them more stuff. It's always just little things. Like I make my children a special treat on their birthdays. I let them know they're valued and loved in my home because I make a huge deal about birthdays. We do these big shenanigans, and it's exactly what they want. They want to know that they're loved and valued and seen, especially in a huge family like mine. It's not huge, you get what I'm saying, in a large family like mine. And so, yeah, love your children. You're doing an amazing job, no matter what you're doing, because you love your kids and you show them you love them in every way possible. So I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week.